Hey guys, so okay, you thought about it, you're entertaining the thought of being or looking into being a flight attendant. So I figured I would kind of help you guys out, just if you're in the market for figuring out if you want to be a flight attendant or not. There are certain terms and terminology that you may see online and you're like, what in the heck is that? So I'm going to give you guys a brief introduction into some basic flight attendant lingo, so you guys can kind of know what people are talking about when they use these abbreviations. So if you're interested in this video, keep on watching. Alright, so when you go through the process of trying to be a flight attendant, after you apply, there'll be different processes for different airlines, of course, but these are just some basic terms that you may see online or people using in different groups and stuff, and you're like, what does that mean? So the first one is VI, or video interview, and that just basically means that the company is giving you a usually a one-way interview, which basically means you're just talking to a camera and answering questions. So that is what VI means. VI means video interview, and it's just a one-way interview where you answer questions, and if you make it through to the next process, that's called something else. If you happen to not make it past the video interview, you may get a letter or an email that people like to call a TBNT, which basically means thanks but no thanks, or like some people like to call it, I wrote this one down because I thought it was so cute, try back next time. That basically just means you didn't make it, which is okay. I applied to a bunch, or quite a few different airlines, and I got a few thanks but no thanks letters, and it doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means that you're not what they're looking for, and that's not a problem either. So that's what TBNT means, thanks but no thanks. If you happen to make it past the VI and you get to the next process, that's usually called an F2F, as in like the number 2, F2F. That means face to face, and that's a face-to-face interview. With my regional company, I didn't actually have a face-to-face. I had a second part VI, which was like a face-to-face, because I was actually talking to a recruiter through like Skype or Ubu or whatever the company uses. And a face-to-face interview is basically that, an interview where you're talking to someone, whether it be through the use of technology, or you actually go and fly out to wherever they have you fly to, and you have a face-to-face interview. So that's what F2F means. Another term that you may see online is a CJO, and that is a conditional job offer, and that basically means that you have been chosen out of however many applicants to go to the next step of the process, which is where you go to training. So a CJO means a conditional job offer. It's conditional because it's conditional on the fact that you go to training or flight school and you pass and you graduate with your wings. So that's what CJO means. After you get your CJO and you go to training and you successfully graduate from flight school, you will have the next process of your training, which will be called an IOE. For me, it was called an IOE. For some airlines, they call it an OE, and IOE stands for Initial Operating Experience. So if it's just an OE, it's an operating experience. And this is where you actually get on the plane with, other crew members or whatever. And for the first part, you shadow them and see what they do. I mean, you're literally standing right beside them doing, watching what they're doing, because at some point in the IOE, you are going to take over and do what they're doing, and you have to pass or fail that part. So it's still a part of training, but it's after you graduate flight school. So my IOE was 3 days long, 3 or 4 days long. It just depends on the airline. But like I said, you're shadowing for half of it, and then the other half is where you actually do what they're doing. So yeah. So after your IOE, you pretty much are done. You graduate. You've already graduated at this point, and you've already passed or failed your IOE, so you're done. If you pass, you go on to become a full-fledged flight attendant, and you get to go out online and start working. If you do not, I think I'm pretty sure most companies just have you redo your IOE or your OE, but you shouldn't really have a problem, because if you have a great trainer, it's not really an issue. Two other terms that I figured that people will probably see and like, what? They're kind of common sense. FA is flight attendant. That's pretty self-explanatory. And PAX is passengers. I think that's pretty self-explanatory too, but I figured I would throw those two in just for kicks and giggles. So yeah, if you are a flight attendant and you saw this video and you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you are not a flight attendant, or if you are still a flight attendant and there was a term that I did not include and you think it should be included, make sure you leave it down in the comments below. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. I am burning the pot for some reason, which is why I'm talking so fast. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video whenever that is. Bye.